All right, Conor McGregor versus Donald Cerrone is this Saturday, and I'm excited for obvious reasons. Who doesn't love watching Donald Cerrone fight? And Conor McGregor, whether you love him or hate him, you want to watch him fight. Before I go into who I think is going to win, there's a couple of key points I wanted to address about this fight. One thing I'm curious to find out is, does Conor McGregor have ring rust? Now, I know there's going to be some of you out there, and I think even Dominic Cruz believes this, that there's no such thing as ring rust. Okay, maybe for an animal like Dominic Cruz, but ring rust exists for some fighters. It's a real thing. I don't care how hard you train. Going in that cage or ring, whatever your venue is, in front of God knows how many people, hundreds to thousands to tens of thousands, there is no way to prepare for that. And some fighters, if they've been gone for a while, whether it be injury or other circumstances, they may have a difficult time readjusting to that, being away for so long. I don't think that'll happen with Conor McGregor. He seems to thrive in that type of atmosphere, but it is one thing to look out for. One question I don't see getting asked that much about this fight is, why is it taking place at welterweight? I suppose for Donald Cerrone, I understand it's towards the end of his career, most likely, and he probably just doesn't want to cut the weight anymore. But for Conor McGregor, I'm not entirely sure why he would take this fight at welterweight. Personally, as talented as both fighters are, I don't see either one really making a run for the welterweight belt anytime soon. Especially Conor. Oh my God. Dana White, if you're listening to this, I know you're not going to, but if you listen to this, please do not put Conor McGregor in the cage against Kamaru Usman. Don't ever let him sniff a title shot at welterweight. I really don't want to witness a murder in your organization. I don't know what Conor McGregor walks around at, but I feel he would have a much better shot sticking a lightweight at 155. Plus, the welterweight division is incredibly stacked right now. There's so much talent all around. Either way, I'm happy for Donald Cerrone. This is clearly going to be a big money fight for him, and if there's one guy that deserves it, it's Donald Cerrone. Remember when I mentioned ring rust earlier? Clearly, Donald Cerrone isn't going to have that problem. This guy still averages 4 fights a year to this day. People seem to be losing a little faith in Donald Cerrone, losing his last couple of fights. Yeah, the thing is, one was to Justin Gaethje and the other was to Tony Ferguson. I mean, those guys are top contenders and very talented fighters. So I wouldn't really hold that much against Donald Cerrone all that much. Now, this is almost definitely not going to go to the ground at any point unless there's a knockdown. Conor McGregor doesn't shoot for takedowns, and even Donald Cerrone, even though he's got 17 submissions, only averages a little over more than 1 takedown a fight. So he's not very keen on shooting too many takedowns to take it to the ground. I am interested to see if it goes to the ground, how will it go? Conor McGregor's ground game is a lot better than people realize. I might make a separate video on that another time. Cerrone definitely has the edge as a ground fighter. I'm not saying he doesn't, but if it goes to the ground, Conor McGregor's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu defense is a lot better than people realize. So it's not lock stock right away if it goes to the ground. One interesting thing about this fight is that Conor McGregor is going into this the smaller guy. This is another concern of mine as to why he was going to welterweight. Because at 45 and 55, he was almost always the bigger guy. And he used that to his advantage. Conor McGregor being 5'9" at 145, that's really big. And even at 55, that's still pretty tall. At 170, he's really not going to have that size advantage against almost anybody in that division. So what would be Donald Cerrone's key points to victory? Well, even though Conor McGregor likes to use the outside. In fact, because Conor McGregor likes to use the outside, but Donald Cerrone, being 6'1", you would think he's the taller fighter. He's lankier. All right, I'm gonna pop him with jabs the whole time. I'm gonna use the outside range. If I were Donald Cerrone's coach, I'd probably tell him to utilize his Muay Thai, get inside, smash him with knees as much as you can, and if a takedown is there, do it. The reason for that being, this is going to sound a little counterintuitive. You almost want the taller guy to fight on the outside. The problem is, Conor McGregor, regardless of who you are, he is very, very comfortable on the outside. You do not want Conor McGregor to get comfortable and let him run around the octagon the whole fight. If Donald Cerrone can keep Conor McGregor, if he can cut off the ring, utilize a good Muay Thai game, and smash him with knees, take away his stamina and his mobility, that is Donald Cerrone's best shot of victory. Now, Conor McGregor's key to victory, he is going to want to use that unorthodox style of his to his advantage 100%. Keep your back away from the cage, utilize the outside of the cage, hit him with leg kicks, push kicks, keep Donald Cerrone away from you, even though he's the taller fighter. And use your head movement. Because Donald Cerrone's combos are among the crisp and cleanest in the UFC. Will Conor McGregor be able to do that for 5 rounds is the question. Or can he slip in a knockout somewhere? Personally, I don't think Conor McGregor has the ability to finish Donald Cerrone. Donald Cerrone's as tough as a $2 steak. It's just that simple. He's not going to submit him, and he may not be able to get close enough to land that left hand to knock him out without getting tied up in that Muay Thai clinch, without eating a couple of knees. So I think Conor McGregor is going to try early on in the fight, which would be a mistake, but I think he's going to try early on in the fight. And once he realizes that he may have an easier time sticking to the outside and point fighting with him, he's going to start doing that the rest of the fight. He's going to steal some rounds, Conor McGregor. He's going to hit him with a few nice push kicks and T kicks and keep him away. So that being said, I give this to Conor McGregor 5 rounds. It'll reach the distance.